Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast, adding games both new and old to your backlog, and it's probably a big backlog, right? One slightly inappropriate episode at a time. My name is Amanda, and I'm just going with the ebb and flow, baby, feeling exoteric as hell. Joining me today is Christian.
I've built 4 architect posts, and the people who man them are all walking left instead of right.
Whoa. And Taylor.
I'm innocent. I swear I'm innocent. You gotta let me out of here, guys.
Oh, Jesus.
God, somebody-
Taylor's here against his will.
Well, this week we're going to be talking about Esoteric Ebb, Pharaoh, trademark, A New Era, and A Way Out. But first, guys, what's new? Taylor, what's new with you?
So, real quick, how do you trademark Pharaoh, the word Pharaoh?
Right. Yeah. It's like, actually, we stole it from the ancient Egyptians.
They're suing King Tut for trademark infringement. But
the tomb is ours. The tomb belongs to Sierra Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, they also trademarked a famous mountain. They're just trademarking anything they can.
It's too far.
This is
The
mine.
Statue of Liberty. But anyway, I just had a friend come up and stay the night at my place. We went to a mutual friend's wedding, and the wedding was really nice, lovely. I'm happy I went and was able to support my buddy. It's always, I don't know, weddings just give you that great feeling, right? Like that joyful,
We love
and
love. Yeah.
hopeful feeling.
Yeah, we love love. I used to work at a catering company. I think I've been to like 600 weddings probably. I worked there for 4 years, every weekend, every day of the year. It's something like that, 600 weddings.
Yeah.
And I have seen some weddings that do not, and I was like, oh, this should not be happening.
Fire.
This is weird. This is a weird
That
wedding.
makes so much sense, dude, because I've been to your wedding, and your wedding was amazing. So that
Right.
experience is
I
coming in.
learned the
see.
lessons. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But to tie it back into gaming, my buddy came back over and spent the night at my place. So we were playing some couch co-op, and initially he wanted to play Madden, which I don't have installed, so we had to download it on Game Pass. And real quick, on the Xbox, if you are downloading a game to play and then you start playing another game, it won't keep downloading in the background. You have
Oh.
So we were like, yeah, let's just play this other game while it downloads. And an hour and a half later, we're like, surely it's finished. And we go to check, and it's at like 40%.
Oh no. Yeah.
And so we're like, damn. So we ended up playing
PSA.
A Way Out the whole night. But that was a lot of fun. So and I'll be talking more about it later on in the episode.
Very
Okay, cool.
What's new with you, Christian?
Yes, I threw a surprise birthday quest for Rianne. So Rianne's 30th birthday. First of all, she rose the bar way too high, because for my 30th birthday, she threw a convention called Christian Con. It came with little badges. It was at a huge mansion Airbnb. There's people there that I literally barely have ever interact with so long. She literally invited everyone. Yeah, she's like, hey, does anyone want to come to this? It's a convention, and it'll be board games on the bottom. There's always going to be things to do. We played Taskmaster games, which is one of my favorite shows. There was a Hot Ones challenge in the middle with an interview where I was interviewed by people, and everyone dressed like a version of me. So people had striped shirts, or they had my buddy Brendan. We were 20, drinking Luckies in the basement, and I was wearing a gray sweater, zipped all down to my belly button, just my hairy chest showing, and my gut hanging out. And then I had gray pants on, and only one of my pant legs was hiked up above my knee, and I'm sitting there drinking Lucky. So he went as that character of me, which was so fun. Anyways, so that was the bar. So I put together this quest. Basically, it was a Fellowship of the Ring themed birthday quest. So she would go to her friends of various houses that lived in Calgary. And then at every house, she would unlock a friend from the town. We used to live in Edmonton because a lot of people drove down to this. So they had to make swords as a quest. And their swords actually came out so awesome. I might post a picture in Discord.
What they make them out of?
Please do.
Garden stakes and toilet rolls
Cardboard.
as the handle.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forget what you
And
call
garden
that piece.
stakes is the stabby end. Yeah. The hand
Love
guard,
that.
maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
Anyways. And then they bedazzled them and had gems and colored them. They look actually so sick. And everyone was dressed up. So they went around Calgary. They came back. And then we had a party at Rivendell, which is like this gazebo around where we live that we just rented out. So it was awesome. I think I met the bar, hopefully. I don't
That
know if I
sounds
exceeded it.
amazing.
Yeah. Big
But yeah,
30th birthday. That's, I mean, that's a
yeah,
milestone. That's when you become a proper adult.
a proper adult. Yep.
Mhm.
So for everyone listening out there looking for ideas of what you should do for your lovely wife or partners, send them on a quest around town and tell them to meet up with their friends and drink a lot of alcohol. I don't think it can go wrong.
It would be hilarious. It's like, happy birthday. Here's work.
Yeah. Yeah. By the
But
way,
it's
the fate of
fun
the world
work.
is on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
they went to this
awesome.
bar and her one friend brought, those slappy hands that kids are menaces with? They
Oh,
just like
yeah.
slap everything. It was pick up the one ring on the floor, but you have to use a
With
slappy
the
hand
slappy hands.
Oh my
in
God,
in
that's
the
so
bar.
good.
So they're like slapping, they're like, ah. Yeah.
That's so good. Oh, that's
Anyways,
awesome.
that's what's new with me. I think I did pretty
Well,
good for
happy
having an
birthday, Ree, if you're
happy
listening.
birthday,
Yeah,
Rianne.
happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Rianne.
Rianne. Yeah.
Awesome.
And Amanda, what's new with you?
Damn, I mean, what you guys did was very exciting. What's new with me is it's an emotional roller coaster. So, I'm sure everybody's been there where you're thinking of a game where you really want to revisit it with your friend, and it was a long time ago, right? For me, it was Baldur's Gate 3. So I loaded up Baldur's Gate 3 and my PC started crashing. And then every single game I played, the PC started crashing.
Oh
Um,
God.
and so it
Did you
was a
check for
nightmare.
worms?
So
Did you check for worms in your PC
dude, it was a whole
or
so I mean, I went on a quest too, but definitely not a fun one like Rihanna. Okay, well, let's check all the temperatures. Let's check all because of course we thought temperatures first, then we thought PSU, but the thing is that it wasn't hard shutting off like a PSU would. Like, because if there's just no power, then obviously it just is all gone, right? But there was like a shutdown happening. So it wasn't
Mm.
necessarily that. Um my partner is absolutely phenomenal, and he got involved and invested and it started tinkering with everything and ripping out cords and putting other cords here. And come to find out, long story short, it was a GPU port cable that we had to swap out completely, which is
Bad cable.
amazing. It was a
That's
bad
what
cable,
Bobby's problem
amazing.
was too,
Yeah,
wasn't it? He had the wrong
yeah.
adapter for like
Man,
the
we
8 pin and the
gotta
12 pin.
we gotta do something about these cable
These
manufacturers,
fucking
man.
Yeah.
cables,
Yeah,
dude.
because let me run down some numbers for people. We're gonna have a little. I'm so sorry. We had a beautiful little what's new of love, and now we're gonna get a little bit of dash of depression. So it's because at first we thought the GPU was dying or the CPU, and we were like, So then I started looking into how much does this cost. So do you want to play a little game as how much this would cost to replace? We'll just stick with the GPU for time. So if you wanted to buy a 3080, NVIDIA 3080. How much do you guys think that it's going to cost brand new?
Canadian, $900.
US, $750.
You both are grossly wrong. It is 2100 Canadian.
Oh, brand
my
new?
Yeah.
God.
It's because
And
you're buying a new one.
Yeah, well,
Since
that's what I said.
they
Yeah, how
don't
much do you
make
She
think
them
did
this
say
year?
new.
Yeah, I
That is
said
why
new.
she said new. Yeah.
Yep, and it is 1500 US. So yeah,
Oh my God.
my partner looks at me and he's like, if the GPU is dead, we're not
The computer's
replacing it
dead.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
like,
bury it. Bury
can
the
I still
computer.
do the podcast? Is what I asked. But anyway, because I love
Yeah.
you guys. So yeah, crazy emotional roller coaster. I know our listeners can relate when your PC hardware starts like kind of acting real crazy, especially when you can't even game. Like, yeah, and so going down the emotional roller coaster of fixing that shit. Happy that it was just basically a $15 CAD cable.
One
So-
time
Nice.
I had this grounding error where I my computer worked totally fine if I had the side of the case off, and when I put the case back on, it would not work.
Oh.
So like when I put it, I took something out or something and changed the RAM. I don't remember, but I turned it on with the case still off to make sure it booted, and totally fine. Put the case on, plug it in, doesn't work. I'm like, what the hell, dude? It just worked. And it took me forever to figure out it was one of the cables the end of it was touching the
Oh,
metal
that's
case, and it was
diabolical.
That is
grounding it.
You
diabolical,
must have felt
dude.
so good when you're like, oh,
When I
thank God.
finally figured it out, because I ended up unplugging everything again, replugging it back like 4 times, trying to
Yeah.
fix this, and yeah, it was just that.
I've probably built like 4 computers in the last 4 years for like family or friends or myself. And every time I do it, I think, why do I do this? Am I some sort of expert?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm
It
doing.
was not that long ago. You were posting in the Discord asking for builds for a PC for
Not,
yourself.
yes, yep.
I
Yeah.
remember the whole community came together to give you
Yes.
advice.
Thank you, community. I still know nothing. 3080, what is that? Is that better than okay, I know the big numbers, okay, but like as soon
Yeah.
as we start getting to acronyms, I get a little confused. I'm like, RDI? What's an RDI? I don't know what that
I mean, that's part of the fun of it all, guys, of the hobby, right? Is that you just want to, it's like the puzzle never stops. You know, you go and you play
The
these puzzle video
puzzle never
games,
stops.
but then there's an entire puzzle to just even unlock the fucking puzzle, which is the video game, and like you figure it out. And so
Yeah.
I'm just glad I'm
anyway,
not a hardware nerd. His whole hobby is paying for expensive computer parts.
very true. But then you'd probably know how to troubleshoot them when they're
Yeah.
busted. And so
You're
yeah.
only a video game nerd where your hobby is to play so many video games that are also not
I
cheap.
I will play hardware simulator. I won't do it in real life.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah, that's my life.
anyways, moving on to what did we actually get to play this time? What did we play? Christian, I'm super excited to listen about Pharaoh. So would you mind starting us off with some
Yes.
Pharaoh trademark? We got to make sure we mention the
Yes.
trademark.
It's Pharaoh TM trademark, a new era. So basically my huge point is why mess with perfection. So you see some of these remakes and it's like they only have upped the graphics, and they make that very clear usually. Like with some of the Night Dive, maybe they're like, oh, we added a different range of motion, and we did 2 things basically. We upgraded the
Is that a
graphics.
remaster or a remake?
Oh, listen to our remake, remasters, and reboot episode to find out. That's back at the backlog.
Okay.
Yeah. But what is this game? What is its unique twist? So it's an Egyptian themed impressions classic city builder. So they made a lot of these. They make like Caesar, Acropolis, Zeus, and they all have a number beside them. You know, there's like Caesar 3, I don't think there's actually a number. I think they only made 1 Acropolis, but for everything else, there's numbers. A fun fact, in 1998, which is when the original Pharaoh came out, they were the most profitable division of the publisher they were an arm of. They made $20 million in profit in 1998. That is
Wow.
that seems astronomical, which was more
Wow.
than Blizzard at the time. So Impression Games, I feel like everyone in the 90s was playing one of these games, a Caesar, a Pharaoh. Like everyone had touched them, which is so cool. Due to poor management, from what I can tell in my research, Impression Games was shuttered, and then a lot of the people moved over to a company called Tilted Mill. Now, why am I talking about any of this history? Because it's a long way to say. Tilted Mill is the creator of a game I really love called Children of the Nile, and I didn't know that there was a connection between these old Pharaoh games and Children of the Nile. When I played Children of the Nile, I was like, oh, this is like that other game I played, except better in every single way. It has all the mechanics you deeply love with just a little bit more complicated twist, and you could like rename villagers, the last name of villagers. So of course, I named like the last name of villager, my last name LaVenture, and then I would follow them through like 300 years, and then like the Weaver
Royal
would
Dynasty.
be named. No. I would make sure it'd be like a Potter. But then there was like this class system, and you could see the family trees. You'd be like, oh, now the LaVentures are also Weavers because they married in or whatever. Anyways, that was a really cool part of that game. But you don't need to mess with perfection. The simplicity of those old Pharaoh games and these old Impression games is their power for me, right? This lived up exactly to my nostalgia. When I was sitting on my when I was little, sitting on my mom's lap, and we were playing this game together, like that is the feeling that I wanted to hit in the back of my mind. And it's pretty much the feeling that I got. I can play these games half asleep, right? Like I've played so much of this specific game that it's just muscle memory. It's branded into my brain. It is like knowledge I will never get rid of. If I have dementia when I'm older, you'll see me playing fucking Pharaoh and setting up that.
He'll be drawing
Yeah.
hieroglyphics for the doodle corner.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Like, that guy's brain doesn't work too well anymore, but he could play a mean game of 1998's Pharaoh. Uh, to me, this is a perfect game. It's so incredibly fun. Like they really nailed it when it came out. When it camed. That's weird. Don't repeat that. We don't say camed on this podcast ever. Okay.
Just 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah. When it originally came out, they had gold. And I think with the remake, they knew they had gold in front of them and they only needed to tweak some things to make it playable on modern machines, updating the graphics. And then there's some small systems that they edited, like the combat system in the original game. I'm sure you can imagine if you haven't played it. It was incredibly buggy. It's like a city builder, and then they tried putting an RTS on top of it. And that portion of it was like basically you just cheese the enemy. You put your
Right.
army in the
It
corner where
didn't
they
work
couldn't.
as intended.
Yeah. You put your army in the corner where the enemy couldn't even detect you, and then your bowman would just like shoot from afar and it would glitch out. And you're like, perfect, I won. I figured it out. I'm a kid. I'm awesome at this game. So they reworked that. But otherwise, the game is untouched and just a beautiful experience. So if you are like me, aka if you were born in Peace River, Alberta in the 90s, if your mother played this as her first city building game, and so you played it as your first city builder game, you will love this remake. If those specific things don't apply to you, I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee you'll love it, but I think it's definitely worth picking up and trying before you do the Steam refund, because there is something really special here. And if you have played city builders, but you haven't played a classic city builder, the simplicity might surprise you. And it feels like a Zen garden, or at least it does to me, where it's just a really relaxing thing to do at the end of the day to grow your city and move through the campaign, which is beautifully structured, by the way. The campaign, the onboarding of these systems is beautifully done through the campaign. And you might even learn a little bit of history if you like ancient Egyptian history. So there's that there for you too. Anyways, yes, that is Pharaoh, A New Era. Did you guys have any questions? I mean, I'm trying to keep it really brief, but
Right. No, it's definitely like I don't know. I really love this story of it being like your first video game that you played with your mom. That's
yeah.
such a touching story. My question is like, who's better at the game, you or your mom?
You know what's funny? I saw as I was playing this that she also launched New Era. Like I have her on Steam as one of my favorites, so I got the pop up that my mom was playing this game as I was playing it. I don't know who would be better. I gotta say me, dude.
Yeah.
I took the title. I took the crown, right?
The student has
Yeah.
become the master.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but she
Oh, that's
loves
so cool.
she loves all these
That's
classic
so
city
sweet
builder
that
games.
she's playing it today, like in the modern day too.
Well,
Like,
she texted me that she saw me play it on her Steam, which made her buy it and play it.
is she a gamer? Does she play on Steam all the time?
Not all the time. I think she's pretty casual. She likes like these garden games, decorating games, but anything she can play on Steam, she does. But a lot of those games are just better suited for mobile, so she plays them
Yeah.
on her phone now.
Mm,
But
makes sense.
no, dude, she's a fucking gamer. OG, Mama Christian. Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Mama Christian, let's
So it was in your
go.
DNA.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What game have you been playing, Taylor?
So I played, relating to my story early in the episode, my buddy and I ended up playing a game called A Way Out because I had already had it installed on my Xbox. We didn't have to wait. And this is a co-op game from Haze Light Studios, who are the people that made It Takes Two, Split Fiction. This is their first game that they made, although the creative director for Haze Light Studios did make the game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons previously, but under a different studio. And so this one, like the setting of it is two
Sounds spooky.
prisoners escaping a prison. So it's not
Okay.
supernatural or anything, though the title did make me think that at first. And like the cover art, you just see the two guys, and I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" You're both in prison, and you both have a reason to get out. Like essentially, the you both have a grudge against this one guy somehow, like, and you happen to be in the same, you're next to each other. Prison cells are right next door, and both of you hate this one dude and want to escape prison and kill him. So that's your goal. So you're kind of bad guys, like
Ooh,
the
bad. Oh, speaking of, sorry, this is a bird walk. I'm so sorry. Very sorry. Did you guys ever watch that show Prison Break?
never
Yes.
seen it.
Okay.
Yes. This game
I
reminded me of that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is the best. So I had a brief romance, and then after we had done the deeds, she's like, "Do you want to watch Prison Break?" I'm like, "Never heard of it." And I watched it, that one episode, and I proceeded to download the entire thing and like binge it on my own for the next like
Nice.
3 weeks. And there's just something so compelling about breaking out of a prison. Like, but
Mhm.
I've never played a Prison Break game, which is why this is somewhat compelling to me as like a
Yeah.
setting. Yeah.
Was it more
The
stealthy? Were there a lot of those
Not a
kind of
ton. There's
mechanics?
some
Okay.
stealth
Mhm.
sections, and you have to work together. So, like, one of you, like, at one point, you're in the nurse's room because you both got in a fight and you're healing up. So, one of you has to distract the nurse while the other one sneaks out of his bed to go steal a chisel. Uh, and so you had to work together. Like, I lock her in conversation, and he does the sneaking,
That's a Prison
and
Break thing. They did it with a
Mhm.
needle though.
yeah,
She had to get a
and
vaccine, and then oh my
you
god.
have to even be
I should rewatch Prison Break.
a little
Okay.
meta about it. Like, you get in the dialogue, it'll pop up, and you'll press X to say the next thing, but you have a little circle with a timer counting down, and so you delay your response for as long as the game will let you, and then you
Mm,
hit the next button. So that
right.
way your buddy has a little bit more time to do what he's doing. So that was there's a little bit of stealth is what I'm getting at. There's a little hiding in bushes, but the actual prison breaking of it all, the escape, happens very quickly in the game. I thought the whole game was going to be escaping the prison, and you escape in like the first hour of the game,
Oh.
and
Mm.
then
Wow.
you're on the run. Like,
Oh, I don't like that. I think the best part is, sorry, having never played this game and knowing nothing about it, I don't like it. I think the interesting part of the Prison Break is like spending 2 seasons planning the prison break.
right?
Your
Yeah,
brother
the
walks in,
planning
he's like, "I
stage
have the
is
blueprints as tattoos on my chest," and you don't learn that till like season 2.5. You're like, "What? He had it the whole time?
Yeah.
No!"
their plan is not super well thought out, and it felt more spur of the moment, and they kind of they go in stages, and so like you end up like pulling the toilet in yourself from the wall, and there's a little hole behind it that you chisel out,
Yeah.
and you sneak through there, and then they make their way through the back area of the prison until they get to a point where they're like, oh crap, we need a wrench, or we need sheets to make a rope. So then you go all the way back to your cell, spend the night. The next day you get assigned to that workplace so you can steal the thing, and then
Okay.
you make more progress in the back area until you eventually escape the prison. And of
Okay.
course, the prison break doesn't go all the way as planned. Right at the end, you alert the guards, and the siren goes off. They start shooting at you, and it's this super like intense, high stakes action period where you got to
Hmm.
run and while you're getting shot at. Uh, and then eventually, like, there's some funny lines too. Like, you're the one of the characters is super like New York Italian, so he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Uh, don't talk about me like that," or what? I'm not good at the accent, but you
I
get
think
it.
nailing it. Sorry, nailing
Thank you.
it.
So the like he has this line where they're going to a bank, and the character says, "Oh, this is the first time I've ever talked to a banker without a gun in my hand," because he was arrested for armed robbery.
Oh no. That was the thing on Prison Break. Like the main character was there and he did nothing wrong. And so his brother goes in purposefully to get him out. He did nothing wrong. But to get out, they have to make alliances and have the support of people
And
who
work
were
with bad
seriously
guys.
bad. Like,
Yeah.
like there's a child molester who's a main character, and he's bad the whole way through, right to the core. But they need his help to get out. And so that to me is like an interesting part of like the Prison Break story is having to break
These
other people out who you
alliances.
know are bad.
Totally. So then you can be free.
One of the characters claims he's innocent and says basically the antagonist of the series.
It's the banks that
Well, he
made
was a
me rob
money
them.
launderer. He worked at a bank, did money laundering for this bad guy,
Yeah.
and eventually was like, "Oh, it's too much. I can't handle it all." Then the bad guy murders his brother as a warning, and pins the murder on him. So he got convicted for murdering his own brother, which he did
No.
not. He claims he did not do, which is that sucks. Like
That does suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
and anyway, there you've got in this game a bunch of different types of gameplay, like shooting, car chases, foot chases, stealth. Then there's little activities like you get in. It takes you like you can throw horseshoes and compete with each other throwing horseshoes at the farm, and
Oh,
It's fun.
all these.
are you
like,
guys
there's
good at
this-
horseshoes in real life? I feel like
Yeah, I'm okay.
I say I'm okay, and then like my uncle will throw the horse, and he'll just be so like hit and nail it every
me.
time. I'll be like,
Yeah,
I'm really kind of shit. Like,
I'm not that good at
I'm
it.
pretty bad.
yeah.
A little better at cornhole. But during like some of these sections, like specifically, I'm thinking of this car chase where you're in this old ass pickup truck that you like had to put a new wheel on, and
Mhm.
you stole out of a barn. So it's just this old farm truck, and the cops are chasing you. So there's these cop cars right behind you, and they are like freaking zooming. They're ignoring physics basically and just accelerate up on you super fast. One of you's driving, the other one is in the back with a shotgun blasting at the cars. And
Oh, that's kind of fun.
what kept
Sounds a lot of
happening
fun.
is the cops were like much faster than our crappy truck. So they would catch up, and then they would start trying to pit maneuver you or like push you to the side of the road. And over this one section, I kept failing. They kept, like 3 cop cars would all run up on me, start pushing my car off a cliff, and then they would follow. Like all the car, we'd fall off the cliff, and before like we died, that you would watch 5 more cop cars barreling over this cliff because they were obviously programmed to just chase the car. And it was just freaking hilarious. Watch
That's
like
great.
these suicidal cops. They're like so on you that they're just like, fuck it, we'll go over the cliff.
Yeah. So you had fun playing this with your friend. You've never played it before. Why did you just have it? You remember why you picked it up, or it was just on Game Pass? You were saying
It was on Game Pass already,
Yeah.
and I had a while back, months ago, I had just gone on Game Pass and looked for all the couch co-op games
right,
and
Oh, you just
downloaded
have 'em.
them so
That's
they'd be
smart,
ready.
dude. Yeah,
Very smart.
yeah. I have a selection ready at any given time. If anyone wants to, that's cool.
Mhm.
I
Because
have
I pretty
a
much only
accoutrement
play
of co-op.
Let me get my
Yeah.
cheese board. It's co-op
Sure.
multiplayer again.
co-op shootery.
Yeah, yeah.
Co-op shootery. Yeah.
So that was yeah. No, I don't play the Xbox a ton. I mainly play on the PC, so just having those ready to go, it's like who cares? It takes up some storage space, but not a lot.
You're ready.
But what I wanted to talk about is how sometimes in video games you get these quote unquote gamey moments that break the immersion of the game, like these cops diving off the cliff after you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like that can be a good thing, like having your immersion broken, because in this game it's like it's realistic, it's serious, it's grounded, high stakes, emotional. And when this immersion is broken, I feel like because it's so dramatic and realistic, it makes it hilarious, right? Because you go from a serious situation to an absurd situation. And it just, I don't know, it cracked me up over and over again. Me and my buddy were both sitting there on the couch, just laughing our heads off. And I think that improved the game
Yeah.
experience. You know what I mean? So I don't know about you guys, but like a lot of times immersion breaking is seen as a very negative thing that you never want to have happen. Like as a developer, you never want the immersion to be broken. And if it does, then there's some kind of failing. But in this situation, I feel like it added moments of levity to the gaming experience to break up the kind of super seriousness of it. And
It
that
made you and your
actually,
friends laugh, and that's probably what
right.
the developers that might have been a goal of the like, what if they were sitting through tests and they saw this happen and then they saw the testers laugh and be having fun? They were probably like, let's not fix like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've
They're
found
probably like,
something.
this
We'll
bug is
turn it
now a
into a
feature.
feature. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's always appreciated. Nothing is coming to mind, right? Except like some janky shit that happens in Skyrim. You're like,
Yeah.
but then also sometimes that can be a bit frustrating or like cheesy. You're like cheesing the game,
I
like
think
shooting it.
when I'm playing single player just by myself, when the immersion gets broken, it's more likely that I'll be not enjoy it as much. Where the gaming moment takes you out of the game, and you're like, ah, come on, man,
Yeah,
I don't like that. Or like when you're cheesing those battles in Pharaoh, at a certain point, it's like gets boring, I guess, you know. But
totally. Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil the ending to this game in case
Oh,
anyone wants to play it. But the ending is totally nuts, and it's worth playing through the game just to get to the ending with your friend and see how that goes. Uh, but I mean, you could look it up. But I highly encourage you to play through the game with your friend and then experience that ending and see how that goes because it's
ooh,
hilarious.
a bit of a
Um,
setup. If anyone actually does this, they're like, I'm going to play this with my buddy right meow. Let us know and
yeah,
say thank you, Taylor, for
and
always
let me know
having
if it
these
was
downloaded
worth
on
it.
your Xbox.
Am I
Yeah.
hyping it too much? But I just wanted to ask you guys, like, we've all played these Haze Light games at this point, and they're the masters of this co-op experience. Is there anything that you want to see in the next Haze Light game that they like another co-op feature that they
Yeah.
haven't already done?
I do. I would love to see an 1800s Sherlock Holmes duo that they take over, like doing some sort of, or like some
Hmm.
sort of like a LA noir, like a detective and their sidekick solving
Very
all these
cool.
crimes together, because that also opens up a ton of availability of distraction or divide and conquer, which is really good for co-op mechanics, but then would be really cool and very different if you're solving murders together. And I
Yeah.
think they
Right?
would do
Solving
it
the
so
murders
well.
of some people who have broken out of jail recently
Dude, now I'm
following that.
now I'm
It's
thinking
gone full
of
circle.
a
And then you
mechanic
find
you could
out the
have.
whole time it was by a writer who, knew the fantasy and sci-fi writers from Split Fiction.
I'm just imagining Sherlock Holmes, and it's like you go into like detective mode, like a lot of games have, but when you do it, he has to snort cocaine first.
The snort
Yeah,
cocaine button. Press
Yeah,
that's
Y.
right.
he snorts the cocaine, and then like the world gets a filter over it that
Right.
highlights
Oh, that'd be
items.
super fun.
Y to make line, left trigger to snort. All right, Amanda, set us up with the star of the app. What's going on?
So finally, I have played a lot of Esoteric Ebb. I'm going to try my best to not spoil anything because I
Oh,
highly recommend this game.
and it
Um,
just came out, right? Sorry, I'm
It
already
just came
interrupting you.
out. Yeah, it just came out. It is done by, I believe, only one developer. Yeah, Christopher Bodegard, uh, who, God, did such an amazing job. Like, apparently he was posting on Reddit, like looking to, he was inspired by Disco Elysium and other like tabletop RPGs. So he wanted to create his own tabletop kind of inspired RPG, which is how we end up with Esoteric Ebb. Um, and I just think that he's done such a beautiful job of this mashup where you take like modern era language and inside jokes and like things that kind of we all collectively understand in the modern era, but then shoves it in like a really well-developed, like, medieval high fantasy world,
So it's
and
very
so
anachronistic.
yeah, yeah, and so, it's just it's cool. You know, you are a somewhat failed or kind of like a joke, type cleric, um, and you you're on a mission to like find out why this tea shop just absolutely exploded. Like it was like a crazy explosion and a fire. So like that's kind of what you set out to do. And choices matter heavily. Everything is like behind a dice roll or save. Not everything, but most things, especially the important things that move the story along of what you're doing. And time is used as a mechanic for sure because you only get a limited amount of time each day, and if you stay up past your bedtime, so to say, like you need 8 hours of sleep, otherwise you are exhausted and you take like
That's so funny.
yeah, you take like a kind of like a debuff with your HP and stuff. And there's been so like I'm just diving into so many random ass conversations with people because I can't help it. And this game really rewards people who approach it with a type of curiosity. Like if you're the kind of person that we're playing the open world games where you're like, I'm gonna look inside every single container, I'm gonna read every book, I'm gonna go
Right.
back to where I was to
I've
see if
read
something's
cover to
different.
cover of the
Yeah,
Lusty Argonian Maid
that's
for the
Uh,
right.
in-universe lore of
Yep. And
Argonian
if you're
slutty
that
fan
kind of
fiction.
if you're that kind of player, this game really rewards you because there's a lot of things that you either need to come back at night and they give you specific time zones. They like you got to come back after midnight in order to talk to this person, things like that. So you'll have to revisit certain areas or you don't want to miss little things. Like I had something where I was investigating a building and everything seemed fine and I came very close to missing this one thing and then I selected it, was able to do a strength saving like dice roll and actually got it and then moved it and it changed the entire fucking game off of that one little thing.
really?
So, yeah, so
Like a
like
big
it's
change.
a huge change. Yeah, like a pivotal point that now everything there's like an option to ask people about it in every single person that I talk to. So like it's
Wow.
a
You
big so there's
like
these little
it's like the
things that
fifth
you can
You could
Thanos
have
find.
gem
just
under the
missed it.
couch.
Totally. You could have just missed it, and this game doesn't care. It'll let you miss it, and then it's just whatever. Like, Christopher has put in there that, like, you can become the legendary cleric, or you can literally destroy the campaign. Like,
It's
you
up
could
to
do
you.
whatever. It really is up to you, and this game, like, pays attention because they've noticed that if I didn't play it this way, but there was another person that played it where they were kind of basically charming a person to make them do everything that they want to, and so their cleric started getting a reputation from people that he'll just force his way to do whatever he wants with you. And so people started like avoiding conversations when he would try to talk to people. And some NPCs would literally say, like, I'm not talking to you because you just charm people into doing whatever you want. So, like, it's
Right.
paying attention and then it's commenting and like almost like a fourth wall breaking of like you as a person playing it. Like, this is how you're doing. And every time you go to bed at night, the developer writes this little like synopsis of like this is what you did and like oh I've noticed this and oh I'll add some of these things into the next day and it's like so cute and wholesome and awesome
You know, like the
that
INTJ personality tests that you take?
Uh-huh.
yeah
And they're like
yeah
kind of gimmicky and lame, and you're like, this probably, whatever. Like, what does this test really know about me? I feel like this game is that test. Like, the game's like, by the way, you're a charmer. Maybe you don't know this about
Oh,
yourself. And at the end of the day, it's like, you did this, this, and this. Hey, by the way, these are like your flaws and advantages as a human. And you're like, oh,
I would.
okay.
That's a great idea for a personality test. Wrap it
yeah
in a video game and
Yeah.
then have people take it. I
Yeah.
love
totally
that actually. At the end of a game, right before the credits, it pops up. Here's your personality
tell me
results,
who
by
you
the
are
way.
yeah
Yeah. At the end of Skyrim, you chose Stealth Archer. That means you are a tiny little bitch.
Yeah. You should really work on your cowardice.
yeah for sure right but there's so much like charm and well written story in this game definitely feels like it is a incredibly well developed fantasy book that you're reading and interacting and being a part of and not just witnessing and experiencing right and so
Mm.
like there's humor everywhere right and so usually when you go up to people you can do what's called behold and you can kind of get if you roll a dice high enough then you get to see all these descriptors about them, which kind of tells you and sets the tone of how interacting with them is going to be. So, like, there was like a very murderous goblin that I walked into, and it was like I didn't roll very very highest. So it just told me that he is a murderer and he hates people and he especially hates humans and he's going to be really defensive and always looking for a fight. And so I kind of knew that, like, going into talking to him, I wasn't going to actually get really anywhere with him because you're going around asking all the people, the citizens of Nordvik, different things. So like there's a big thing going on in the beginning that is like an election. And so you get to talk to everybody about their political views, what kind of political environment this city is in. And
Oh,
you're not
that's
going to
weird.
go,
I feel
yeah,
like you're walking around the modern day polling station. You're like, hey, who are you voting for? People would be like, by the way, none of your
Yeah,
business, you
screw you,
some
fucking
guy.
weirdo.
some people are like that. That's what's
Okay,
cool,
that's
is that
good.
there's so many people in this game, and there are some people that are like it. There was one person that said to me, like, "I feel like that's a really intimate question, and I don't really feel comfortable
Take me
answering
to
that."
dinner
And
Yeah.
then
first.
Yeah.
I could charm the person to making them give me that answer, but I'm not gonna do that because again, like, I want people to freely talk to me and stuff. But um it's very cool, but, like, in the beginning of just beholding and seeing people and, like, getting the descriptors of them, like, the writing even in that is so good. If you roll a dice high enough, you'll actually even see all their stats and everything about them, like, their
Oh,
history and
cool.
stuff like that. So, like, there was, like, one moment where I'm walking around in this dark, creepy dungeon. It's filled with goblins, and it's very, like, intense, like, because it was, like, there in and, like, just interacting with the goblin queen, it was like my character tried to run and I had to roll to like not run. And then I failed it and he tripped and fell and smashed his face, got a bloody nose, and they dragged him back to talk to her. So that's very funny. But then I find this like kind of dark elf with this huge mushroom and I behold her and like it just made me laugh so much that like this is a pure example of my point at the top of that when you have a mashup that does modern era language and like kind of a modern era vibe, but in an old setting, it's like so awesome because for the beholding of this woman, they literally wrote unbothered, moisturized, happy, in her lane. And I was like, it's so hilarious. And sure enough, you talk to her and she's very soothing. She's very like, she's very unbothered. She's like, I'm doing my thing. This is what I like to do, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And it's just, it's
And her thing
so
being, to be clear,
funny.
giant mushrooms.
Kind of, yeah, she was more of like an alchemist. She wanted to make like a whole bunch of potions and things like that. And you can learn spells from people doing things like that. We're conversating with them and getting along with them. They might offer you a spell. There's, of course, you can intimidate people to give you spells, all kinds of stuff that you can do. There is combat in the game, and it's done in such a weird way where it's basically all text combat. And then you roll to either prepare yourself to get punched or stabbed or whatnot, or like you roll to fight. And so I've been in two different fights where they've been very different. Where one of them, a guy came up to me, it was a huge crocodile, and he surprised me and that, sucked because 'cause I've been dying a lot in this game, because you could just be unbothered, moisturized, in your lane, happy, walking around, and then all of a sudden one character shows up, and now you're dead, and you're like, "How did you roll attacking me for 20 hit points when I only have 12?"
Now he's in
Just
your lane.
Yeah.
yeah, knocked me out of my lane, and now I'm in the ditch. Yeah,
Now
so
you are bothered.
oh,
Well, you're not,
I'm
actually.
very
You're
bothered and
further than
very
bothered.
unhappy. Yeah.
No longer moisturized. You sweat it all off.
That's
Yeah.
right. So you're definitely going to want to have a very healthy save hygiene regimen with this
Uh,
game for sure, because a
did
lot
you
of
beat
things
this
has to
game,
change.
Amanda?
I have not beat it. No, I've been like taking my time with it because I keep getting so sidetracked, and that's something that I need to work on. Is that time is truly a mechanic, and you do not have the time to do everything. You cannot. You will lose probably the game by like getting sidetracked by every little thing, and
Mm.
they've done like Christopher's done such a great job of making this feel so much like Disco Elysium. And I think one of the core points that it feels that way is that your attributes are also conversational partners. So, like in Disco Elysium, you had like electrochemistry. So every time your detective saw a cigarette, all of a sudden electrochemistry pops up and is like, yo, smoke that shit. You got to smoke that shit right now. And you got to talk to it, even though that's one of your skills, right? And so here in Esoteric Ebb, it's the same way. So wisdom is always talking to you, strength is always talking to you. And strength tends to be like such a shitty little troll in a way that reminds me of like dexterity and strength remind me of electrochemistry because like strength of course will just be like anytime it's anything emotional or like it just obviously the clear one of like bashing indoors like obviously strength is the one that's there but like dexterity is always like, yo, steal that. Yo, can you exploit them from that? Like it's like a genuine rogue. And so it's so funny. But to me, I feel like with all these kind of text-based RPGs, it's always a wise choice, and I always am grateful that I always go for maxing out intelligence and wisdom because that's typically where you learn the most, and then from learning, you can then use that to advance in a game. So to
Right.
me, I went with a cleric that is like called a scholar cleric, and even the developer then wrote, "Oh, scholar cleric, I see. Oh, I'll have to add a bunch of extra bullshit lore for you to read." I just laughed, dude. It's so funny. So this game has so much replayability and it runs flawlessly on the Steam Deck. Like I prefer
Nice.
to play it on a Steam Deck compared to
Oh,
the
that's
PC.
good.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, this is another
perfect
game
Steam
I
Deck
want to
game.
add to my back.
Yes,
Amanda,
add
I
it
see
to
you
the
have a
Steam
little
Deck.
game for us.
I do, yes, because politics is a really big part of this game. It's huge. And politics was also pretty big in Disco Elysium, right? But
Right.
here in Esoteric Ebb, it is what's governing. It's the big event in the beginning is the election, and everybody's talking about the election. And the game is figuring out where you align. You can be totally apolitical. That is an option. I didn't put that in there because it's pretty obvious what apolitical means. But I wanted to play a game with you guys to see what you guys think these factions of political parties mean or just like what party it is, right? What maybe what they represent. So
I like this.
I'll give you
I
one
am
for
an ape that's
free.
political.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
excited.
I'll give you one that's free because it's kind of easy. The nationalists, for example, is the like nationalist party. They call themselves the party of Norvik, but that's because the world you're in and the city you're in is Norvik. So they're just nationals for that. They're into fascism, they're into like their you know, everything is about Nordviks, right? So that makes a lot of sense. So that's kind of what I'm
They
going with
support
these
the state.
questions. They support the state, exactly. That's what the nationalist is. So when we talk about the party of arcanist and somebody is an arcanist, what do you guys think that is the party of?
Magic
I
supremacists.
Yeah, I think they're like the like oil lobby of the modern day where they want to maximize arcane production at the expense of perhaps the more unstable elements that might bring to society. I guess just a direct ripoff from Arcane, like the show. Like,
Yeah, no, you guys are right. It's the party of magic, and you both are right in that it's like basically the wizards, the magical arcanists are the ones that are in charge and they have the full power and they are going to be exploiting the most amount of magic to get out
Yeah.
of everything. Yep, absolutely. So when I say Asgarian, what do you guys think the Asgarian party is?
hmm,
I feel like
Asgard,
they
Old Norse gods.
represent the Legion of Asgard.
Hmm.
I
We
feel
already
like
have
that's a great Legion name. Maybe
maybe
they support a their legionary.
it is a great Legion name. It sounds like another, uh, like maybe there is a group of people that have emigrated to Nordic and they are a different group. And so this is their political
Ethnic
party for,
minority.
yeah, for their rights or their standing in society. That's my guess.
Okay. Christian, you're pretty close. It is the workers' party, basically. It was
That's not
formulated.
close.
No, it's close in hear me out. It's close in the sense that like it kind of started from a lot of the goblins and the minority groups that had moved into the city and were getting exploited.
Mm,
So a lot of the people that are like the immigrants of this city are the ones that are getting exploited. They are the
Mm,
ones that formed the workers' party. So
nice.
I'm actually going in this playthrough and making my cleric. That's the party that he's affiliated with,
oh,
my
you're
cleric.
supporting
So
the
that's what I'm
workers.
supporting. I'm supporting the workers. And there's a
And you were
ton
scared
of
of the
stuff about
Goblin
it.
Queen, presumably one of the
You gotta
leaders of
seize the means
Well,
of production.
so the
Seize the
goblins,
Goblin.
yeah. Well, no, the goblins and I are a lot more chill because a lot of the goblins in the game do support that party, actually. So, like, that's something, and that's part of why it's now more smoothed over with them, is because I'm more of a supporter of that too. But that Goblin Queen
it,
is scary, man. Like, she's a scary
and
lady.
then they
Like,
pulled you up and you're like, don't worry, I'm an Asgarian. And she's like, yeah, I've heard it before.
Okay.
she's like, whatever. All right. When I say the Free Striders, what party do you think that is? Or what do you think they support?
No
My,
borders.
ooh, no borders yet. I also think of Silt Riders from Morrowind. I'm thinking
Oh,
this
yeah.
is like some sort of free. They want an ease of transportation. They
I
want
think of them as libertarians,
right. Okay.
essentially. Like,
I think a transport union, Amanda. I'm more thinking like there's like some sort of taxes or bureaucracy for the movement of goods and services, and these people are like, we need free movement
I think
between.
these guys boil down to not paying taxes.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, very, very close. So they're called the Revolutionary Party, but what they really truly are is like the party of free trade. They are the Traders Guild. They are the ones
Okay.
that are running the
Mm.
money. They want free trade. They want free borders so that way they can go through and make a shitload of money. I highly doubt they pay taxes. They would probably be very fucking against taxes. So you guys are very close with that one. Yeah, they at first I was actually going to be that, and it's fun because you'll meet like like the owner of the bar was talking about. Actually, I'll get into the owner of the bar after the next one. What do you guys think is the agrarian?
The farmers.
The farmers.
Yes. Well, they call it the rural party, but yes, it is the farmers actually. And so, yeah, I have already encountered a few people. Typically, like one of them was the bar owner, and when I asked them like, what are you voting for in the election?" and they were like, "Well, I guess I'm just going to go with the Free Striders, but I really wanted to go with the Agrarians, but they're not going to win." And they were saying that like there's not
Everyone
enough
knows they're not going to
support.
win.
They're like, there's not enough. Yeah, because the
And he wants his
agrarian.
barley to be low. How else is he gonna brew the? He's like,
Well,
I
and
gotta get the
she
cheap
wants
barley.
she wants there to be less tax and less restrictions on her bar, so that's why she's going with Free Striders and explains that really well, and like even explained how when she was growing up she wanted to vote more agrarian, but again like the parties kind of fallen to the wayside because even all of these parties exist. I would say that in my experience of playing and asking and talking to like I don't know, I've talked to like 20 or 30 people now about their election stance. The Arcanists and the Agrarians are like they're not going to win. Like the big three is definitely the Asgarian, the Nationalists, and the Free Striders. That's the big
And
one.
Amanda, personally, separate from your character, which of these parties are you voting for? If you are just a member of the city of Nordic,
If it was just me,
just
I think
you.
I think honestly it still would be Asgarian. Like I typically when I play an RPG, I play it pretty close to like how I would be if I was in there. And then
Mm.
I go like full crazy, like then maybe I'd go back and play as a nationalist, just be an asshole, but I don't know.
Okay, cool.
But no,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, we've pretty much got the technocrats, the communists, the fascists, the libertarians, and then the rural vote.
yeah. Yeah. But they do it so well, and of course, there's even you find propaganda from like both political parties just randomly like spread out across the thing. Like in one of the buildings that was like absolutely destroyed, and I was looking through it, I found it was a magically uh infused so that way it would never get destroyed. Free Striders propaganda magazine. And, like my partner was like, "Oh my god, this piece of shit still exists."
There should be a quest where you get to hand out literature. Like,
There
Yeah.
could be. I mean, there could be. A lot of the questing in
meet
this
at
game have
the
been
meet at the Asgarian bookstore to.
yeah,
Cobblestone roads are theft. I could hand out some
totally.
fucking Free Strider
Well, one of the
posters.
first things that you encounter actually is that like an illegal assembly of Asgarian dwarves that are trying to sit there and rally a big thing, and you have to make the decision: do you let them go or do you work with the Free Strider person to shut it down? And
Mm,
technically their permit for the day was like a week old. So it's like there are a lot of and politics is huge in this game. It really is. It shapes a lot of how the game is played, and where you align yourself and what you kind of cater to like also shapes a lot of it too, which is
And
really
a,
cool.
a good amount of reading like Disco Elysium, or is this all
Yes.
synthesized by context clues? No, it's just
It's
straight
so
text,
much reading,
lots of
so
reading.
much
Okay.
text. Yeah, lots of reading, but again,
Is
done
it
super
voice
well.
acted?
No, and I would say probably if there's one thing that I could argue is a little lacking in the game is probably the audio, just in general. Like the music is okay, and it's all right. It reminds me of kind of like a lo-fi, like what I would want to listen to if I was like painting or something. But
Yeah,
it's kind
Ooh.
of
chill.
soothing. But like even my partner brought up something because I've been playing it on the TV, so he comes in and checks, and he's like, "There's no footsteps. Like that's weird. Like you
Oh, not
don't hear."
even Foley
Yeah, you
work.
don't yeah, so I don't feel like there's full audio at all, but, like, it actually doesn't really take away from it so much, it could enhance it, I suppose, but maybe it's something
Yeah.
that he'll put in later. Either
Well,
way,
he's
I'm
a
glad.
small dev, indie dev, and audio can be really hard for some of these. If you're not going out
Totally.
there and buying audio libraries to put in,
Well,
then yeah,
and additionally too, when Disco Elysium came out, it wasn't voice acted, really, and then they came back and added more voice acting to it
yeah. Well, it's
afterwards, so
expensive, and it's definitely a
mhm.
thing that you can
Mhm.
always come back later and add.
Totally. And I feel like it's fine. You know, the way that I'm approaching Esoteric Ebb is that and why I haven't beaten it, but it's also the same way that I approach Disco Elysium, which is that like anytime I'm feeling like I want to sit down and read a book, I'll play the game because you are reading so much and you
And
don't
definitely a
want to miss
mind game.
stuff. And it's a mind game, exactly. Like there's a lot of things that you don't want to miss because the game will just be like, okay, whatever, you missed it. Fuck you. Like so,
Right.
This might be
but
intuition to anyone else out there, but when I started thinking of games as solutions to different aspects of Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
Oh,
like sometimes I say I like city builders, but what I really want to do sometimes is have a difficult puzzle, which is a different type of city builder, or sometimes I want like a Zen garden and a peaceful experience. So I'll play that type. And so what you're feeling and what you're seeking out in gaming, I feel like are closely related thing. Because when you say you want to read a book, obviously that is a need for you, a certain way you're feeling, and that's why you're playing that type of game. So
exactly.
yeah, I don't know if you're out there and you're like, what do I want to play? Look inside, man. You'll find the answer.
That's right, and if you feel like you really wanna read a good story that makes you laugh and makes you think and makes you really kinda get introspective, and also gives you a lot of kind of investigative sides, because there you are investigating a lot of things in this game, and so there's that as well, but yeah, I can't recommend Esoteric Ebb enough. I can't wait to keep playing it. I think this is gonna be a slow burn for me, but, like, on in a good way, and it's because I wanna
I'm
really sit down and dive in each time I play.
I'm breaking our rule. I want to see what this is. 96% positive on Steam. Oh my god, dude! I
It's a
think
great
Christopher
game.
knocked it out of the park,
He
didn't
really
he?
did. Yeah, he really,
That's
really
crazy to
did. And he
see.
also was super active online and everything too, like in Reddit and like communicating with people, stuff like that too. So I think he also organically built a lot of the people that are playing it, but I also think it's just such a well-made game and really unique. And it's the closest thing to Disco Elysium I have ever seen. So that's very high praise for anybody that is a fan of Disco Elysium. This is definitely going to scratch that itch if you play this for sure.
Very
yeah.
cool.
But, yeah,
I also
so
love the art style.
the
It's
art style's
very charming.
great. It's
Yeah,
very
I
charming, and
love.
they do a really good job of, again, this modern day mashup with old world. Like, I think of the companion named Snell, who is a goblin, and he's very much a goblin. He's very much wearing goblin things. And yet, the way that he's drawn makes me feel like I would meet this guy at Capitol Hill in Seattle. Like,
Yeah,
and he's
as a
even got like
hipster.
his hair, yeah, like, and he's very. You go to his house, and it's all very like chic, and he's got all these like really cool things, and it's
What
just
was that
like
movie with Will Smith? Is like modern day orcs and elves, and they had like guns and
Oh,
stuff.
bright.
Is called Bright. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think I watched that when I was like, I don't know, 14, 15, so long ago. But I remember really enjoying that spin on it. Like, oh, they took the things from back there in the setting and
Put it
then
in
they
a
put them up
contemporary
here.
time.
And they put them up here. Cool.
so dope.
It reminds me of Shadowrun. Shadowrun, I love that setting because it's sci-fi and fantasy all mashed into one. So you get the cyberpunk and you got the fantasy trolls and stuff, and it's great. Like, why don't
Nice.
more games do that?
Well, it's hard. It's hard to do a mashup so effectively well because it has to be balanced, right? And making that
Yeah.
balance can be really difficult. But when they do it, man, and knock it out of the park, and I think Esoteric Ebb definitely did.
Thank you,
But
Christopher.
thank you, Christopher. Highly recommend it. So moving along. Guys, what do we want to play? Taylor, I want to start with you. What do you want to play?
Yeah, so my buddy mentioned this game to me last night while we were hanging out. Terminator Survivors. It is an upcoming Terminator franchise base shooter RPG slash survival game coming from the studio Nacon, who I'm not a, or the publisher Nacon. The studio is Nacon Milan, which is an internal dev house. But I'm not a huge fan of this publisher. They kind of aren't my favorite. They're a big French publisher. But anyway, you're playing as a survivor in the Terminator world after Judgment Day, which is the day that the machines nuked the world and decided to take over. And so you're not playing as a Terminator yourself. You're running away from Terminator. So one of the things they advertise is that the T-800 Terminator will be chasing you. Not a ton of info out yet. There's some trailers and screenshots and short blurbs on Steam, but it's really pretty basic information. There's not even a release date, so I can't even say when this game is coming out. The developers have only made two other games, two racing games, one called Rims and one called TT Isle of Man. So it's interesting to see their take on this totally new genre. I always like to see a dev that has previously only done one thing try something new, because a lot of times they'll come up with a fresh idea that maybe you haven't seen before.
Right, like a
new take
fusion
on the
of
genre.
like maybe there'll be something they learned from
Mhm.
putting these racing games
Right.
together that is going to be, yeah, I understand. That's cool. I think they need to change the name. There's anything with survivors in the title.
Survivors like. It's not a
Yeah.
Survivors like.
So they
Yeah.
need to have a think through that, Nacon. Maybe I don't know. Go back to
Maybe it sounds better in French.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
But I don't know. I'm just hoping for a cool game set in the Terminator universe, and I hope they don't do too much, lean too hard into survival. I don't want to have to be worrying about my hunger and my thirst and whatever while I'm playing this Terminator game. I just want to shoot guns and run away from the T-800, and hopefully they also got a bit of a branching story that I can affect in some way. But I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
Yeah. Very cool.
I want to play Timberborn 1.0. I don't know. Maybe I've added this to this section before.
I feel like you've
If
talked about it.
Okay. Well, I've definitely talked about on the podcast Timberborn. I played it and I loved it. But it's an apocalyptic beaver water physics city builder where the beavers, hold on, can't swim. You know, you start off on like an island, and part of the game is managing the water so that your beavers can cross over to the next island and mow down the trees. And then, there's ore on that third island. And then you have to build like a bigger dam. And maybe that dam actually moves the whole water table up. So now your second island is underwater. And now you have to reroute the water other places. So cool of an idea for a game. Timberborn, obviously one of the best city builders you can play that's available. It's overwhelmingly positive on Steam. It has so many reviews, so many people love this game, and it's been in early access for, I'm just going to make a number up, at least 4 years, I want to say. I played around 40 hours of this a couple of years ago while watching Task Manager on the left screen, and why I could do that was because the day-night cycle in the game is very much like in the morning, go, 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 go. In the evening, all your beavers go to sleep and you plan for the next day, and it's much more relaxed. And then I was watching whatever was happening on Taskmaster. And so
you said Task Manager, and I was like,
did I say Task Manager?
Yeah, I thought you were monitoring the CPU usage. Or
No,
something. But
Taskmaster, the improv British show where they do different tasks.
yes, okay.
Yes. And so anytime I see this game, I just think of like a random scene in Task. Like the two are linked in my head
They're
inexplicably.
inextricably linked.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes. It's just like, I don't know, if you ever walk into a room and you smell a certain scent and you're like, oh, my grandma, She's been dead for a
I've
while.
got like RuneScape and this one song are totally
Right,
linked in
just
my head.
linked.
Where like one summer, this one song came out. I was obsessed with it. I listened to it over and over while
Yeah.
playing RuneScape. So now if I hear the song, I think of RuneScape. If I play RuneScape, I think of the song.
Yes, they just
Yep.
go together. So that is part of the reason why I love Taskmaster and Timberborn. I hope that in 1.0 it still has enough downtime to decompress and watch something on the second screen. I know they added like zip lines and new water physics, so your little beavers can zippity doo da da around. And I see in the 1.0 trailer that there is beavers swimming. So I don't know if you
Ooh.
unlock floaties so your beavers can swim from island to island, because a huge part of the game is that your beavers could not cross the water until you constructed something so that they could.
Hmm.
So I'm wondering, why are the beavers swimming in the trailer? The great
In-game
mystery.
technology. You
Perhaps.
unlocked the swimming training.
Yes, now the
and
beavers
You make specialized beavers that can swim.
can swim.
It's little flipper caps, so that way it can put on their feet and then they can actually swim. That's what
Yeah.
it is. But it's like
Yeah.
little shoes. Yeah.
Little shoes. Yeah. Even though the beavers
Okay,
themselves
okay.
come with flipper. They're just
They're
bigger. They're just big
you
flip-
unlock hydrofoil technology for the
Hmm.
beavers.
Right. And their fur famously is hydrophobic. So again, I don't know why they can't swim in the game. It's just weird to make a beaver city builder where the beavers, the main mechanic of the game is the beavers can't swim. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to Timberborn 1.0.
Awesome. One of the games that I want to play is called Retro Rewind Video Store Simulator. So a lot of simulators I love. There's a few that I don't, especially if it's something that I could do and like get paid for or do it in real life, but like some things are like too big, like I'm not going to make a Blockbuster. I'm not going to open up a video store
Not
simulator.
with that attitude, Amanda. No,
Well,
just kidding.
no, okay. The 90s have come and gone, so this kind of a simulator I think is really fun, is really awesome. So it's basically if you want to think of a Blockbuster or a VHS store.
Hollywood video.
Exactly. It takes place in the 90s, and basically all you do is rent and sell and manage and decorate one of those video stores. And you got people that are walking in, and I hope that I can revisit like my nostalgia of Blockbuster, because some of these like business store simulators I really enjoy. They're very fun. Like the TCG, like the card game store
Bobby's
simulator.
Card
That's a
Shop,
perfect one.
famously,
Yeah,
that
Bobby's
he
Card
named Card
Shop.
Shop.
Yeah.
We were like, could you name it anything? Like, that must have been the default name. He's like, no, I could have named it anything. I think it started with like John's Shop, and I named it Card Shop.
And that's why I'm sure that Bobby would be all over this game, this Retro Rewind, and he would probably just call it Video Store.
Video store.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Video Store.
Video store. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Actually, video rental store. We don't sell videos. We
that's
rent
right.
them.
Yeah,
rent
video
them.
rental
Don't
store.
get it
That's
twisted.
exactly what he would call it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he would like.
I
So-
hope that this game includes that pattern that was on soda cups in the 90s. You know what I'm talking about? That like
Yep.
it was like light blue and
Yeah. That's a
Yes.
very specific hope and dream, and I
It's-
too wish this. Thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised, and if I remember correctly, some of the video I saw, the carpet is like that. That's a very quintessential like 90s graphic, I think.
I'm wondering, is there, the area in the back you weren't allowed to go as a kid? 'cause
18
it
and up
had
section.
The
I
18
feel
and
like you could
up?
make that. You got to.
used to
That's actually
go
one of the first
to-
things I thought too.
I went to Family Video as a kid in Texas, and
Mm.
that place always sticks out in my mind because they had an obelisk in front of each store, like this big glass obelisk with lights inside that would light up. And I don't know why they were there. It was just part of the stores, but they had an 18 and up section, and I remember getting caught back there as a like 13-year-old or something. And 'cause
Scandalo.
I was like, wonder what's back in here. And so I was looking at the video
Boobs.
boxes, and I saw
Yep.
boobs, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah.
And one of the employees came and found me back there and was like, what are you doing back here? Don't make me tell your parents you're here. And I'm like, don't tell my parents.
No! I
I was
also
like-
just saw boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, you could have been a little cooler about that, my guy.
But
I
I
think
don't know.
I think that's his duty.
Yeah.
I think
this
if he
is-
didn't tell your parents, he's being cool, but he's
It's the duty
obligated.
of all slightly older teenage workers
Yeah.
to help other boys experience boobs for the first
He
time.
wanted a Steve
I th-
from the Stranger Things. He
and
wanted a Steve.
and you think he didn't come there? You think he didn't give you 2 minutes on purpose? You're like, oh, that kid went back there.
yeah,
I'll give him
maybe
2
he did
minutes, and
give me
then
2 minutes.
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
I just remember being able to rent Xbox games and PlayStation games. That was
Oh, so
nice.
fun.
That was
Yeah.
so
We
nice.
never
Yeah.
had the console to rent games for, so we never did that. It was only
Yeah.
movies.
And we've
Well,
come so far. Now Taylor just has 10 co-op games
I was gonna say
downloaded.
now
Oh,
Taylor's
ready to
technically
go.
renting a bunch of
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What's your
awesome,
address,
guys.
Taylor? Some people should stop by.
That's right.
It's,
Yeah.
I need more friends, guys.
He's ready. He's got his co-op charcuterie. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's a show. So what's our community up to? Again, every time we want to shout out and thank our executive producer, Truthbringer. Thank you, Truthbringer. It's
Thank you,
fantastic.
Truthbringer.
Thank you. And Christian, got some questions?
So it's a Uno reverse card this week. Usually we answer questions you ask us, and we can answer them in any form. A comment on YouTube, Spotify, Discord, an email, a comment on our website. You could send us a package, I think, still. Yes, actually you can. I'm not sure if anyone is it's
I don't
Bobby's
know if anyone's
PO box.
looking at it right now because that's
Yeah.
Bobby, but
Do we have a package of boxes ready to be? Anyways, it's a reverse week where we are asking you some questions. So, what's the first game you've ever played? That's the first question. Second question is, how many mouse clicks do you think you average an hour? Just really think about it. Or
Yeah.
maybe download a tracker. They're out there.
serious answers only.
Serious answers only. Don't be silly. No silliness. We will not have silliness.
Don't break our immersion.
No, yeah. And what archetypes do you gravitate towards in an RPG? Anyone who says stealth archer, you know what's wrong with you. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
You know what's wrong.
You've got a sickness.
All right. And what are we plugging this week, Taylor?
I'm gonna be a little gauche.
Gauche. That's
Plug
left for
our
non-French speakers.
Patreon.
Yeah.
I just wanted to shout out some things that you get for being a Patreon member. We have extended episodes for patron members that include our pre-show, which is normally like 15 to 30 minutes of us preparing for the show. But you get that every week, and it's early. You get it a day early.
A feedback on that section is it's better than the show. So maybe that's what you really
people
want.
say.
Yeah.
So anyway, check out our Patreon. I appreciate it if you do. No pressure.
No pressure. Yep.
No pressure.
No pressure.
All right. Well, that's a game. That's an episode, guys. That's game, right? So
That's a game.
my name is Amanda, and joining us today was Christian and Taylor. Tune in next week because Christian is gonna get to the bottom as to why the bottoms of the beavers aren't working when they want to try and swim. And he's gonna live his beaver fantasy by playing Timberborn.
They're
Taylor-
unborn. They're unborn. Fuck. They're unanswered question in beaverdom, and I will get to the bottom of this log, whether I chew or whether I don't know.
Bottom of the log is soggy.
Got it. Yep.
That's
That's
All right, Taylor, what are people listening to as we head on out of here?
Playing us out is the Sounds of Peril from Esoteric Ebb. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, I could study to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of jazzy a little bit, but chill.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is like my favorite type of music, by the way.
Yeah.
If he made it himself.